Hello, this is Apocrypha from APOC Industries, and this is episode 25 of the Ashlands. So we have christened this the Hope Line because we were hoping to find some resources. What we did find was some coal and iron, which is not bad. We really wanted to find some oil or stone. We did, however, get a little peek at some stone over here at the end of the Ember line. So that's probably where we're going to start out today, clearing out. We've also been getting attacked a little bit by some biters that followed us home up here. So we are probably also going to go take out this biter encampment, which is just kind of casually sitting in our pollution cloud, which is, at least we can now mostly see where it's touching. Mostly. I won't be surprised if we start getting attacked from up here at some point. But I digress. Where we're going to start at today, I stopped expanding these lines when I started running into biters. Yeah. So we're going to head down to the end of the Ember line, clear out these biters, and then see how we can get up to this stone. I have a suspicion that this is going to be coastline here, and that we're probably going to want to reroute this whole line this way. So we'll pop down here somewhere and take the car out to find out. Yeah, so that's where we're starting today. We don't really need much stuff for that, so we're just going to go. We're going to Ember South. We also have a couple of biters that may or may not give us some trouble. I don't know. No? Alright. We are gonna just jump out of the train right here, though. A dangerous maneuver, but there we have it. And we're gonna start looking at these biters. Now, do we see any level 2 biters? I don't think so. I also don't see any spitters yet, so we're still doing alright. We are also... yeah. This is, again, gonna just be pushing up evolution. We would rather not be doing stuff like this if we didn't have to, but it is what it is. This will be a good copper to tap at some point, but not right now. It'll also be pretty easy to tap, given that it's pretty much, well, pretty well defended. Okay, and we're going to go try and catch up with our train while running into rocks everywhere. And take out the biters that were greeting us over here. There were a bunch of biters that were coming from up this way. This has been mostly trees, which has been at least a little bit annoying. Let's take a route around the forest. I'm wondering if perhaps there's been some expansion that our raiders haven't picked up yet. Maybe not. I can get a sense of this, like I said, what would probably be a coastline. Looks like it is in fact a coastline. So that's good. It means that we kind of don't want to be extending our rail in this particular direction. This is a bad way of doing this. It's fine. Worked out in the end. some things we probably just shouldn't rely on bots for. Let's plow through these trees and see what's down here, because it may be that we want to continue the Emerald line down to the south if it's not just like one big peninsula. It looks like it may be just one big peninsula, so that's a really good reason to come here and take out these fighters. Any more worms? I don't think so. Alright. Great. Well, this is good to know. We will probably toss a radar down here then, and at least give us a sense of what lies beyond. There is one small little land bridge right here, which I would never be able to get my car across. Does this actually connect to a larger bit of land? It may. But if it doesn't, then we will get a radar down here. Nope, it is not connected to anything. So we will put our radar down as far as it'll go. Perhaps out here, like so. We aren't going to be traveling down here pretty much at all, so we're not really going to be worried about putting lights next to our power poles. Usually I'm pretty adamant about putting lights next to power poles, but in this case we're not going to be, because again, we're just not going to be spending time down here. We are going to be pretty haphazard with how we place these radars, though. I don't even know if I put a light on that last one. So haphazard. Can you reach all the way across? Yes. And we need to pull this back up to a landmass over here. I think we'll get a radar. We should get a radar all along this particular coastline. Maybe we'll end up scanning some resources that will be useful. Right. Let's see. We should also definitely just connect this with our main power. We really should. So we're just going to draw this up so we can have a better idea of what is missing in terms of radar coverage. All right. We'll get a couple of radars just over here. And again, we'll probably be pulling up most of this rail. Maybe not, actually. We might actually want to get a rail going down over here, now that I think about it. Let's see. Let's not plan on that just yet. Let's instead just kind of wing it in terms of radar coverage, and if we decide to build a train out this way at a later date, then we will make this better. Don't do today what you can put off until tomorrow. Alright, that'll start scanning around here. We'll give you a little bit of protection. I don't think you'll need it, but there you have it. Did I lose my car? I did. So we're gonna go grab the car. Because we gonna do some driving. Specifically, we're gonna go doing some driving up here to see what's going on with this stone. And with the shape of that landmass. Hello, car. How are you? Probably also going to be driving through a bunch of trees. Not necessarily on purpose, but it is just what we do when we're driving a car. Also driving through rocks, which is less than ideal. I don't mind driving through trees so much, but driving through rocks I would rather avoid. Because trees at least just kind of slow you down. Rocks just stop you outright. Can we get through here? Also, once we find some oil, we can start making solid fuel, and our car will hopefully be able to go a bit faster, which will be fun. Same thing with our trains. Alright, so this is what this stone looks like. That's kind of a mess, isn't it? Not a very good access route to that. And we're gonna get out and hike through the woods. There are some biters over here as well, but I don't think that we're gonna be getting close enough to them that it'll matter. We are gonna take the car back out and do a little bit of scouting with the car. Again, just getting a sense of the shape of this landmass so that we can plan our trains. And if we find other resources, then great. But if we don't, then at least we'll know how to plan our rails. My goodness. This is stretched out with a whole lot of nothing, isn't it? We would really like to find some oil somewhere. I mean, we will end up tapping that one tiny little oil patch that we do have, but it's less than ideal. It will be enough to at least get us started on some blue science, I guess, but not enough to get us very far at all, really. Okay, well, we've come to the ocean, which is exciting. And what the ocean needs is a radar. wonder if we could, gonna say, just have some way of powering this without having to bring it back to our main power grid, but we don't have solar panels, so the answer to that is no. If we had some solar... Oh, where are we getting attacked? Oh, that's okay. We're not too worried about that. It's probably just one of those biters that was kicking around. Hopefully, anyway. Or we have more biters here than we thought. We can actually check on that on our way back. And we'll get another radar in here. Just cover the whole place with radars. We're also going to run out of large power poles at some point soon. And some power poles through the woods. This would be a lot easier if I could actually see what our radar coverage was, but since we can't, we will just pretend. Do I have my car? I do, okay. And we'll be taking this all the way back to where the stone is, because we know we're going to be setting up something there. We have a lot of overlapping radars here, but I don't really mind that all that much. To help us keep better coverage on the goings-on around us. Right. There we are. Now, how are we going to get this connected to our main power grid? With a rail, I would imagine. Probably gonna just end up clearing out all these trees here. There are a lot of them. Okay, bringing the train line up this way is something that I will. And ultimately, we'd No, we'll bring it from here. We'll have it kind of swoop down and then back up. That's what we'll do. I would rather not lay a bunch of big power poles and then, you know, decide that, oh, that's not actually where I want my power poles. And have to pull them all back up again, so we're not going to do that. What we are going to do is get down to our train, back it out of where it is, and rethink where all this stuff is. So we're going to set this to manual. We're going to set this to filter only tracks and signals and stations. I think that's it. Take a look at that. Oh shoot, just one sec. We gotta do this the right way around. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's not what I meant to do. Okay, there we go. Alright. Go. Whoops. This is what we need to not be doing, is deleting tracks which are ahead of us in our path. Whoops. Whoops. Alright. Okay, we got this. And I think the plan was maybe to... Oops. It's got to turn up from here. Is that what we're thinking? I think that is what we're thinking. Because then we kind of swoop down in case we ever want to go down over this way. And in case, well, I mean, obviously we're going to tap this at some point, this copper. But we are also going to turn up here. Where's our straight one? Oh, no, you're not straight, are you? You are something else entirely. Oh, I see. You should be a straight now. From here. Okay. And now we will turn up like so. And then head diagonal up this way. Okay, and diagonal, blink. What are we doing for rails? We still got lots. What we don't have lots of is power poles. Do we have enough to get all the way there? I'm guessing maybe we don't. Do we have enough to craft some? Not really. We also missed, I see, at least one rail section, which we're going to want to make sure is there. We're running a bit over time here, but I would like to be able to connect to here at least, so that our radars will be connected. If we could do that, that would be wonderful. And hopefully this is going to line up well. If it doesn't, then, well, it doesn't, but hopefully we'll be able to take this and have it turn just up ahead. Here, let's get into our map view so we can see a little better. If we have this make a left turn, no, Right turn, apparently. Where does that put us? That actually works out perfectly. That's exactly what we want. Because then we'll drive just on the other side of this stone patch, and then we can easily set up a station for it. Perfect. And we are down to our last power pole, which hasn't quite reached, unfortunately. Unfortunately. That is really too bad. But, in the meantime, what we will do is bridge the gap with a kludge. There we go. Beautiful. This also needs a radar somewhere in here, I'm sure. How about right up in this corner? Seems like a good enough spot. There we go. And then we will put an end of line right around here. We'll call this end of line Ember South. How much stone did we end up picking up? We may just bring this back to our bootstrap base and toss it in the chest for our rail. So there we go. We're exploring a little bit more area with some haphazard radars that we've set out. We finally have a stone patch which we can tap. It's not a huge one, but it will do us for now because it's bigger than the very, very tiny one which is down here. We still haven't found anything else particularly interesting out this way, but somehow this is iron even though it's not showing up. That's very strange. So is that something to keep an eye on? That's really weird. I've never seen that before. In any event, what we're really looking for is purple. Because oil is not something that we've seen a lot of, and we definitely need oil to be progressing in the game. So I guess we are going to be tapping this, at least for the time being. I don't know. I don't really have a good plan for this. Yeah. So I guess stay tuned until next time when we decide what to do with all of the information that we've gathered, which is mostly non-information. I'm just gonna run around and gather stuff, so thank you so much for watching.